What's up, guys? Welcome back to Duffy Rides. We're here in beautiful Barbados with the Ibis Ripley again. It's been a while since I provided some updates, so I thought now is a good time to hop on here, show you guys the Ripley, tell you guys, how it's been riding, some things I'd like to change, some things I recommend, and yeah, who I think the bike continues to impress and who it's really for. Yeah, so there's a couple things I just want to talk about. With the fork on this bike, I think the fork is the main, it's a great fork, but for aggressive riders or if you're doing, I don't know, a lot of jumps and so on, for me it's been fine for the trails we have here, but our trails definitely don't have, the huge jumps you'll find at any bike park or anything like that. Um, I do find that the fork is, again, it's very adjustable, very diverse. It does soak up the majority of everything, but at times I do feel the bike overrides the fork the harder you push it. And I've had to run a lot of air in the fork to compensate. I'm going to test with some volume spacers next, but I would say, let me just pull the camera off here just to give you guys a better view of the bike while I talk about it here. So I would say that the fork is amazing. It is the Grip X damper, Fox factory, so all the Kashima and everything. It's been great. But again, if you're in that 30% of riders who are riding this thing aggressively, I do think that maybe a Fox 36 140 would be an amazing upgrade for this bike. Um, or perhaps, again, at least try some volume spacers, which is what I'm going to try next and report back. Hey, just real quick, guys, if you like these kind of videos, please give me a like, thumbs up, subscribe as well. Also going to share some links to the gear I use as well. The new Camelback backpack I'm just testing now, as well as this new Stuntman GoPro and DJI chest mount. It's been amazing. The Stuntman has been great so far. And the shock next. The shock has been awesome. I don't really find any issue with the shock, and this is the Float X. It's not really, it's nothing like an X2, but I definitely wouldn't want an X2 on this bike. I bought this bike, for some more efficiency over my previous enduro bike, and while the bike, the bike definitely does fit the bill for the majority of trails that most of us ride, right? And I think that goes for whatever country you're in. These short travel or short to mid travel trail bikes are really, doing an amazing job and replacing a lot of people's enduro bikes now. Like I would not go back to an enduro bike unless I was looking to do a race. This bike, it's just as fast as everywhere. All of our regular trails I normally would ride on the enduro bike. This bike has been equally as fast, setting some of my best times on some of the trails on Strava. So there's no reason for me to go back to an enduro bike. So yeah, the suspension has been more than capable, but I would touch on upgrading the fork if that's an option for you. If you're doing, again, for 70% of us, the fork is fine. But if you're going to be going and you're trying to set the fastest times on the steepest drops and the biggest jumps, then maybe this is not the bike for you. But if you want that efficient trail bike that can kind of do it all, and you want a little bit more capability for the aggressive stuff, if you're again, if you're in that 30% of riders who are probably looking to do some of that as well with this bike, then I think the Fox 36 at 140, or perhaps maybe a Pike at 140, or Lyric at 140 might be nice as well. So yeah, I wouldn't change to 150. I wouldn't want to mess with the geometry. The bike is very capable as it is, and I wouldn't want to offset the balance of the bike. Um, uh, and it's not that I'm bottoming the fork. It's just I do think that it's really progressive. Sorry, it's really linear actually off the top. Uh, Actually, I would say fork is a little bit too. It's a little bit too supple off the top. And one of the things that I would say is if I'm standing up and sprinting, I've been a little bit disappointed in how much movement I'm getting on the fork in the initial travel. So the first centimeter or two of travel, it's really soft off the top. So I'll try some more stuff, but right now I'm having to run some more air. And with that being said, let me just pull out the settings I have. So on the fork, I'm running 7 clicks out. So again, so you're turning the compression all the way in and then 7 clicks out, and that's the standard. You know, you hear everyone talk about suspension, that's the correct way to refer to it. So 7 clicks out. On the high speed, I'm running about 5 clicks out, so they're right there in the middle, about there. And the low speed, I'm running about 4, 4 clicks out. So I'm running a fairly stiff setup on the stiffer side for the majority part of it. I'm also raising the PSI about 10 more PSI than Ibis, than the fork and Fox have on the fork. So you can use that as a guide. I'll put the number of PSI I'm running here, right here shortly. But again, I've had to run more PSI because I am on the aggressive side of riding, coming from an enduro bike as well as a motocross background. I like to charge the jumps and pop off of everything I find. So I'm running the fork on the stiff side. If I knew I was doing some light duty trail, I will probably back off a little bit more on the low speed and high speed. All right, on the shock, I'm running 165 psi, which is again about a little bit more than the shock recommends from my weight. I am 165 psi. I'm running more than that. Again, just to kind of help me handle with some of the bigger jumps, and it hasn't really impacted the bike any other way. I'm only running about 10 psi more than recommended from the factory, and that works for me. I'm running about 30% sag. 28 to 30% sag on the shock. So all in all, what I recommend, the Ibis Ripley, definitely 100%. This bike has been a game changer for me. Like I said earlier, I would never go back to an enduro bike unless I was racing. I think short to mid travel 29ers have become so capable now that they kind of, some brands I think have probably cannibalized their enduro lineups a little bit because, again, unless you're racing enduro or you have access to bike parks or some really gnarly trails, I really don't see why you wouldn't just have one of these bikes. Everyday riding for me, again, like 95% of everything that I do, and I love to jump and pop off of everything and just smash everything. This Ripley has been more than capable. Like I said earlier, maybe the most I would do is go to a 36 fork, a Fox 36, but I'd still keep the travel at 140. I don't see myself going back to my enduro bike at all for my daily riding. So it has been a game changer. 100% recommend it. And just to touch on a couple of things I changed on the bike. Okay, so I'm riding a size medium. The bike comes with a 150 dropper on a medium. I'm running about 3 inches above the frame, seat post on the frame, so I got lots of room. I think I'm 5'9" on a medium. If you're like me, you might get by with it, and I'm getting by with it just fine. But I kind of wish this bike came with a 170 or 180 dropper. Definitely could have done with that on a size medium. I've also changed the stem, so the bike comes with a 35 millimeter stem, and I'm running now a 45 millimeter stem. So stem definitely gives me a little bit more room, that's been good so far as well. I am going to test, again, a couple of things. I'm going to test the volume spacers next and report back. Then I'm going to test I want to try, the bike comes with Maxxis DHF at the front and Recon at the rear. I think that's kind of an odd setup. For a little bit more efficiency, I might try a Maxxis Forecaster or run 2 Recons, front and rear, Maxxis Recon front rear combo, and report back on that as well. I'm going to drop a link to the gear I use. I think the new Camelback Mule backpacks are amazing. I've been using that for like my all-day rides like this one. I'll drop a link to it below. It has been great in the hot weather. It's got a nice meshed back panel here as well, and some foam panels here. It's really comfortable. holds everything I got. I'll drop the link to this below. It's not too large either, actually. So this is my daily backpack now, the one that I'm going to recommend going forward. And it's very high quality stuff as well. So yeah, this is my bag of choice. Hit myself in the eye there. And again, DJI mic. Out here is super windy, guys, on the cliffside here in Barbados where I'm riding, and I bet you can't hear much wind blowing around it. The audio sounds pretty good. So I'll put a link to that below as well. And as well, that spike stem, that was a high quality upgrade as well that I did, so I'll drop a link to that. Again, guys, like, subscribe, stick around for the next one, and see you then.